Hello and welcome to episode 16 of series 2 of Master League Story Mode. Now we are deep into the transfer window now, and by deep I mean we're the 6th day of January. So we need to be making some moves pretty swiftly. We've just signed Bazoa. Unbelievable signing. We got rid of Gabbiadini in that deal as well. So he comes into a already strong Hull team, and he's really going to shore up that midfield. Let's take a look at the other players that we're dealing with. So Bazoa's gone through. He cost us 5.8 million with Gabbiadini on top. Not cheap, but he's a real beast, and he's going to be great in the middle. Good passer, strong as well. Arda Turan, he's a possibility. What we're basically looking for now is we've signed Tisserand and Bazoa. Would be a left-sided midfielder, ideally left-footed. I'd quite like someone with a bit of pace as well. That's one thing we're lacking on the wings. Lingard isn't the quickest. Snodgrass is definitely not fast. So, you know, whether or not they're left-footed, I'm maybe willing to ignore, but we do want someone with a bit of pace. Give us that option on either wing. So Turan doesn't really fulfill that. And for 14 million, I don't feel like he's going to be the right player for us. So I'm going to end that now. Marcus Rojo, well, I think the consensus is he's not a great signing. We've got a centre-back as well, so we don't need him. Now, Ricardo Pereira, he's just come back in. 16 million that Nice won for him. That's insane. He's only worth 9.6. No, he's only worth 9 million even. He can play everywhere on the pitch, but nowhere particularly well. I think that's going to be out of our price range as well. So we're back to square one here, really, with transfers. We've got no one lined up. So let's take a look at our team. See if there's anyone we can sell to bring a bit of money in. We've got Mason and Livermore now on the transfer list after Bazoa coming in. We've got, you know, we don't need 4 central midfielders, so we can sell one of them at least. Hopefully that should be about 7 or 8 million. Jakupovic, let him go. That's a crafty little 1.2 mil. So Mohammadi is an option to sell. We've been offered 8.2 million. That is a big amount of money for an aging player who's not getting any better. He's got a good mix of stats, actually. Maybe we've underused him slightly. But with Bazoa coming in and Tisserand, who can play at right back, we've got options there. So we can maybe let him go. Diamande, I don't think we can sell him. If we keep him, we don't need to bring in another striker because he is absolutely capable. Physically, he's a beast and he's a good finisher, good header of the ball, and he's scored some important goals for us. So if we need to, then we can definitely sell Al Mohammadi and hopefully one of either Livermore or Mason and maybe some of the other fringe players as well. So we should be able to get a little bit of money going. What I've done outside of this episode is I've had a little look through some of our link clubs and I've whacked some of them into the list. So let's have a quick look through them, see if there's anyone we want to bid on. Now Kazri from Sunderland, he's been flagged by a couple of commenters and I can see why. He's a very talented player. He can play in left midfield, so it'd be good cover or maybe even first choice in front of Bobby Snodders, although that'd be hard to believe. But he's right-footed, but he's a great cross of the ball. Really good finisher as well. Great dribbler. He's quick as well. He's a really, really strong player. He's going to be expensive, though. His market value is 10 million, so that could be anywhere from 15 to 20 million he'll cost us. So he's likely to be out of our price range. Same could be said for Arnautovic. He's got the same sort of same qualities. He is an explosive, really physical player. He'd be great as well. If we come into some serious change, then I'd consider those two. These are a couple that here I'm interested in, definitely. Januzaj, we'll go from the bottom up. As a reserve, left or right-sided midfielder, I think he'd be really promising. He's got decent crossing stats. He's quick. He's really, really weak, though. That is the only problem with him. But he is left-footed, which was something we were looking for. So that's one to consider. Antonio Valencia as well. Not so much with him. Now, here's a lovely little... Here's a gem that I found. We're looking for raw pace, as we said. Januzaj doesn't really have. But Ryan Fraser, Scottish youngster, using the old Scottish national team link that Fergie has. I really like the look of him. He's not left-footed, yes. His passing leaves a little bit to be desired, but he's so fast. He's absolutely rapid. He's got acrobatic finishing, but more importantly, the speeding bullet, amazing run. I think he would offer us a really nice option off the bench. So I'm going to put in a bid for him, see if we can get anywhere with him. And then hopefully, the only other thing we're waiting for is waiting on the scouts. So we've got one out in England just looking for a midfielder. One out in Spain. This is the one that we really need to come home. We've got looking for a still developing Spanish youngster. And we're not too bothered about the market value. So hopefully we'll get something good from that. And we're still maybe considering a left back. I think if we can find a good value left back as cover for Robertson, instead of having to play Tisserand there in Robertson's absence, that would be good. But we're really looking for something good value. Smith not good enough. Wendell too expensive, as is Juan Jesus. Well, those would be, both of them, really great signings. I mean, Wendell might be good because we could maybe play him as a left midfielder if needed. He's a good crosser. He's really, really quick as well. Well, we can't bid for him now, but we'll put him in the list. One to consider as well. Okay, so we've got quite a few days until the next game, so let's just keep cracking on, see what happens with the scouts and some of the players we've bid on. Okay, Bazur's come in, Gabbiadini, Jakupovic going out. Gabbiadini, that is not a sad farewell for us. He overstayed his welcome in the 6 months that he was here. He was a panic buy though at the end of the window, and he did not prove himself at all. It's just the wrong combination of stats for me. But Bazur's coming in, that's a great signing. Centre-back and midfield cover there. And the scouts come back as well. That's interesting. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, it's a left back. Okay. It's Willems from Eindhoven. Oh, yeah, he's strong. Another 11 million left back. We've got 3 of them lined up here, all of which really, really high quality. Wendell has the explosiveness. I'd like to see how much we can get for him and Willems. Those would be interesting. Both of them could fill in at left midfield as well. Which should be probably actually the answer to our problem. If we can get a really, really high quality left back who maybe starts ahead of Robertson. I know it's hard to think of that, but also can fill in at left midfield. That does kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He's got early. They both got early cross and pinpoint crossing. That is absolutely key. So either of them would be good. We'll see how that goes. I do have a little fancy for Ryan Fraser though, but we'll see what happens. Let's keep moving. Okay, so Fraser is back. Now I really like the idea of Ryan Fraser. I especially like signing Scottish players, obviously. So 8 million is quite a lot for Fraser, but I like him. I don't know what it is. I think I like the idea of a tiny little Scotsman wreaking havoc down the left or right wing. 90 speed, 91 explosive power. He's going to be rapid. His dribbling stats maybe aren't as great as they could be, but he's a decent passer as well. I wonder if there's anyone we can trade him for. Let's try Marshall. Okay, 100% down to 2.3 million. Yeah, that would be acceptable. Very rarely do we need to ever rest Butland, so that would be a good trade. See what happens with these 2 guys, but we just got to keep moving. Wait and see what that scout comes back with as well. Okay, scout is back. Let's see what we've got here. What are we working with? Okay, Saul. Saul, 81 over at Weil. Hello. Hello. That is a stat line that I like. Hang on, he's left-footed. Can play anywhere in the midfield. Ooh, he's a bit of alright. Great passer. Good finisher as well. But look at those stats. Through the defence, the ball winning. All the way down to his physical contact and jump. Incredible stamina as well. One-touch pass, weighted pass. He's a real quality. Real bit of quality. Well, we'll definitely put a bid in for him. See what comes back there. Okay, so negotiations have been updated for Wendell. Mr. Wendell. I do like the look of Mr. Wendell. And at 14 million, whoa, he's dangerous. Really great passer. I mean, in many ways, he's a better signing than Fraser. Although I just have a feeling that I like Fraser a lot. But Wendell has got the speed as well. 14 million. I mean, that's not crazy money. Try and get some money off him, I think. Oh, Fraser's back. Okay, well, I mean, Fraser for Marshall. I think that's a pretty neat little swap. I like the look of Ryan Fraser. I don't know what it is about him. 1.5 mil transfer. Plus David Marshall, he doesn't ever get a game. He's lacking in a lot of areas, but where he's not lacking is that blistering pace. And I'm just quite curious to see what having a real speeding bullet, amazing run type winger, can play him on either side, how that works for us. Because Lingard, although he's quick, is not really that quick. And Hernandez, who is that quick, but still not quite that quick, has been a real pain in the arse for almost everyone. So put that on ice. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on Ryan Fraser. But that's one that we've got there ready to go if we want to go for it. Still waiting to hear back from Mr. Wendell and Saul. I think Saul would be an incredible signing, as would Wendell. Wendell gives us the option of playing him as a defender as well, which is the left back cover that we've been looking for. Interesting to see how much Saul comes back for. Let's keep moving. Ah, Saul's broken down. That's a shame. I don't know how that broke down. It seems it was a scout that brought us him back. Well, I think for now it's time to get into the first game of the episode, finally. I'm not sure if we're really killing it in the transfer window so far as I'd like to, but we're waiting to hear back from the scouts. We've got maybe Ryan Fraser coming in, who could be an interesting backup signing. So we're on the back of a really, really strong win against Tottenham. I was a big fan of that result, as a lot of you were as well. We've got a new player to bring in today. Oh, Bazur coming in alongside Mbula. That is a strong central midfield duo. Absolutely loving that. Tisserand's on a downward arrow, but I think we'll play him anyway because he's looked really strong. Bobby Snods and Lingard. Left and right sided wingers. Do we need to improve on them, or we're bringing in Ryan Fraser as a backup option for either side? Would that be enough? We do need a left back as well. Can't come out of this window without a left back. So here we are. We are at Sunderland today for the first game of this episode. I'd like to apologise now if I'm sounding a little bit tired, a little bit weary. I've had a really long weekend and it is fairly late Sunday night. I'm pretty knackered. So if my commentary isn't quite up to its blistering best, then I apologise for that. And I'm sorry if I haven't got as enthusiastic about all these transfers that we could be making as maybe I normally would. But anyway, hopefully I can pull it out of the bag for this game. Because another win to follow on from the Tottenham result would be huge for us. This is better here from Sunderland. It's a long-range shot. Butland always had that under control. Sunderland looking dangerous here. David Moyes got them riled up to go up against his old pal Alex Ferguson. Half an hour in here and we've created absolutely zip all. Absolutely nothing. Sunderland have been a worthy opponent so far though. They've actually been the more dangerous side. Better passing from them. Snodgrass whips it in. We've not done anything so far. And that's straight at Manoni. This has been a real nothing half for us. Nothing working at all. And that's 0-0. Well, that's one of the worst halves we've ever had. Not a single shot on target. We've had possession, but couldn't do anything with it. Really, we were dithering. We had chances to move the ball. We didn't take them. So we're going to need more in this half. We're going to need much more from many more players. Bazoa, nice turn away. Now Cabela takes it away from Denier. That's nice. Little chip back into Hernandez with his head. Oh, could have volleyed that there, Abel. Oh well, better start to the half though. And each should be an early sub for Barini, who's always a pain in PES. Always. Alex Ferguson shouting at his team, trying to get some movement, trying to get something to happen. Here's Bazur, the new signing. He's away from Larson. That's a nice ball looking for Fosu Mensah. Is he onside? He is. Low ball into Cabela. Ah! The flag went up then. I don't understand why the flag went up. I stopped. One ball in. This is dangerous. And Dong was there. Good strong punch away from Butland though. Ball back into the boxes and Dong inside to Barini. No! Jermaine Defoe there for the follow-up. We've not deserved to be ahead. I don't think Sunderland have either. But they've snuck an early goal in this second half. And that's a real kick in the teeth for Hull City. That was just poor. We couldn't get it away. Ball came back in. Barini on the turn. Butland maybe could have done better there. He kicked it straight back into the path of Defoe. We couldn't react quick enough. Sunderland all over us at the moment. Khazri into the box. The curling effort just wide, and he put some wicked curl on that as well. Great tackle though from Fosu Mensah. And now Lingard into Hernandez. Hernandez looks round the corner into his partner Diamandi. He's got to score that. It's the best chance of the game there for Harlow. Dama Diamandi. His first touch of the match, but he's put that wide. That ball from Hernandez was really nicely weighted. Diamandi's not taking his chances anymore. That's a lovely weighted ball. He's put that well wide. It's Welbeck and Al Mohammadi coming on. This is where it would be good to have maybe a Ryan Fraser or another pacey winger. Try and influence the game late on. Beat a man. Oh, Snodgrass so nearly won that back. We need the ball back right away if we're going to do anything in this game. Oh, Defoe's away into a Barini, and that's 2. And that is that for today. Oh my god, what a start to this episode. What an awful, awful start. Just ripped apart there. Defoe and Mbula couldn't win it back, or was that Bazur? Curtis Davis is miles away from Barini, and then that is it. And there it is. Our continued just love for losing to shit teams goes on. You can beat teams like Tottenham, not a problem, mate, not a problem. Put us up against Sunderland, one of the worst teams in the league, and we struggle. We really struggled to create anything today. Well, that was a hot, steaming pile of shit. One shot on target. We had so much possession. Pass completion rate, not great. No one played well. Absolutely no one. Diamandi missed his chance when he came on. To level it at that point would have maybe put us back in the driving seat, but no. Really poor. Khazri looked good. maybe have to reconsider whether we could move some money around to try and afford him. Gutted. Awful. And now we slip 11 points below Man United. Okay, Scout's back. We need something big here. We need a good result from the Scout after that disappointing performance. So what have we got? Ross Barkley. Interesting. We don't need an attacking midfield. I don't know why I didn't specify where we needed our players. Not that we'd be able to afford him anyway. Lanzini. Now, I like Lanzini at West Ham. He's a really nice little player. Looks like in a pinch he can play out on the left and the right as well. He's right-footed. He's got a goal in him. He's a good passer. I'll put in a bid for him. I think that's a reasonable transfer. There's no way that Hull City are getting Ross Barkley, or maybe high-performing Hull City as we are right now. Maybe they would. But actually, not that great. I mean, obviously he's probably going to turn into something incredible. Just for fun, let's see how much he's going to cost us. Okay, we've had a bid for Remy Cabella. Don't think we're going to be selling him, but Maguire we can definitely let go, so hopefully that gives us a little bit more pocket change to work with. Let's have a look at that. Ooh, yeah, nice. A cool 4 mil. That'd be potentially a left back. Okay, let's have a look at the teams for today's game against Southampton. Really poor performance in the last game. And Bazur, who didn't have the worst debut ever, and Snodgrass, neither of them played well, and that seems to be reflected in downward arrows for both of them, so we can't be playing them. But Jake Livermore back alongside Mbula. He's always been pretty good for us. I think we'll play Cabella out on the left. We'll give Diamandi another chance. This could be his last chance. It's as serious as that. He's been underperforming. He's missed some gilt-edged chances in recent games. So he needs to get his goals today. He's on an upward arrow. And he needs to fulfil. He needs to prove to Alex Ferguson that he's worth keeping. Because we could easily bring in Jordan Rhodes. And I would love to bring in Jordan Rhodes. Another Scotsman. We could have 6 Scotsmen in this team when I'm done with it. So with maybe Fraser coming in and maybe Jordan Rhodes as a backup striker, because I like him a lot. Up against Southampton, I can't remember if we played these guys before. Oh, we have. They've got Boufal out on the right, who's quick. Rodriguez and Austin. It's a dangerous 3 up top. So we're back at the KCOM, and this will definitely be the cinema of nightmares if we lose another game now. I just can't handle it. Not another one. Not at home. We can't do that to ourselves. We need to come back out and perform here. Diamandi needs to get us some goals. Ball inside to Hernandez. Turns away from Ward-Prowse. Abel Hernandez hits it really well. McCarthy parries it. Cabella's nearly there to pounce on the rebound. Suarez coming forward. Now Boufal. Ball inside. Just about gets away from Livermore. Charlie Austin, little chip in. Tisserand out to meet Davis. Davis shoots. Scores. That was awful defending. Gets from bad to worse here for Hull City. This was just basic. Livermore couldn't get that ball back. And Tisserand is just on his arse. Jake Livermore, well played. Good defence there. Now Tisserand has to bring it forward, trying to make amends. Little chip ball in, looking for Hernandez. Foster's off his line straight away. Lingard's hit it from distance. Fraser Forster, that is an incredible save. Great little bit of hustle there from Hernandez. Can he put it through into Diamandi? He can't. That's an awful ball. Should have gone alone or not at all there. Okay, Cabella to float this in. Can we get this on the head of Diamandi? Remy Cabella puts it into the box. Hernandez is there and he's put it over. Abel Hernandez, he's had much more difficult opportunities than that he's slotted away this season. Oh, this is not looking good. Throwing, looking for Hernandez, but he comes off worse there. Oh, now Southampton can bring it forward. That's a great tackle from Cabella. Somehow it doesn't go to anyone in a Hull shirt. As they... No! Fuck! Okay. So we still haven't scored yet. And we're 1-0 behind at home to Southampton. This could be the worst episode yet. Had a couple of shots, not much possession, but we've been doing okay. Just not taking our chances again. Mbula. Hernandez loses out, but Mbula, good running still. And the big man, ball into Diamandi, and he slips it past him. The left foot finish. Adama Diamandi gets us back in this game when all looked lost. We are not playing well, but Diamandi, as we requested, has got his goal today. And that was a real striker's finish there. Sloppy, really. I mean, the passing was a bit better. Mbula picked up that loose ball. Put through a decent ball into Diamandi, who hit it first time. Didn't think about that and slotted it past with his left foot as well. Decent play actually there to stay onside from Diamandi. We needed that. Tisserand looks up. Long ball looking for Hernandez. Oh, and Bula. He's just about won it back. Ball into Hernandez. Oh, where's those dancing feet that have got so many goals so far? Fossey Mensah. Can he find Lingard in space? He can. This could be our last chance here. Ball in. Welbeck's there! Over his head. Livermore now. This is the last chance saloon here. Diamandi's got Livermore. Trying to back him up. It's Adama Diamandi through the middle. Can he get it onto his shooting foot? No, but he does draw the foul on the edge of the box. Who's going to take this? I don't think we've got any free kick takers on the pitch with Snodgrass and Lingard both out of action. It's a late tackle there from Yoshida. Who's stepped up? Danny Welbeck. Is that the best we can do? It really is the best we can do. Oh, that's... it's not great. It's not great at all. It's got to be the right footer, so it's going to have to be Welbeck. If this is his one contribution. Lingard's in a lot of space there. Can we just sneak that into him? We can. Jesse Lingard. The left foot. No! How did he miss that? Oh, Lingard had snuck in there. That was ridiculous. It would have been a really cheap goal. Probably best we didn't score it. And that's 1-1. Oh, really, really poor performances today. I put that a bit down to my own individual fatigue. But just real unimaginative stuff there from Hull City. And a draw now. Oh, no. We're slipping down the league. 11 points behind Chelsea now. I mean, European spots was our goal, but now we're only... we're only just... We're 6 points clear of 8th place Swansea. Okay, Lanzini and Barkley. Not really the players we need or want. Barkley only 15 million. That is ridiculously cheap. We could move the funds around to buy him, but where would we play him? He's not... We don't need a central midfielder. We're not playing an attacking midfielder. We just don't need him. It's interesting to see how cheap he is. Lanzini at 10 million, that is a bit different. He would be a good player to play out on the wings. He's a good crosser. Great dribbler, great ball control. He's not the fastest. He doesn't have the raw pace that Fraser has. What I like about Fraser is even though he's really, really quick, he's actually a decent passer as well. And I think he's got maybe room to improve those passing stats whilst keeping that speed and explosive power, which 90 and 91. I think that will give us a real boost with him in the team. I think we're definitely going to sign him for 1.5 mil. Lanzini, possibly. Barkley, I'm pretty sure no. We need to hear back from the scouts. Is there no other left midfielders in the whole of Spain? Actually, before we go, let's just take another look at Wendell. Bayer Leverkusen. 2 out of 5 chances of signing. We'll give him another go. We'll give us one more little push forward just to see where we get to before the end of this episode, actually. Okay, so we've had a bid for Mason. And Maguire we could get a bit of extra money for. We are likely to have quite a bit of money in the bank, actually, with these 2 sales. So let's just take a look before we get going. Mason's going to be 10 mil. That's lovely stuff. Happy to let him go. Well, could just be 10 mil by the looks of it. So 10 mil for him, and then a sneaky 4.4 for Maguire. That's a really, really great sale. So that could put us at 15 mil, which is that's one big signing, really. Big left back maybe Wendell. Hopefully we can sign him. Got to wait and see what happens with him. Bringing in Wendell and Fraser would be a real injection of pace into a team that is lacking in pace, except for Hernandez. We really are not a quick team. So I think those 2 would really help. Wendell probably comes in as first choice left back. I think you can battle it out with Robinson for that, depending on form. Fraser is a good backup. Right and left sided midfielder. Only going to cost us 1.5, and David Marshall we never use anyway. And then, yeah, those 2 would be great. If we can sign those 2, selling Mason and Maguire, that's a pretty good haul. And then maybe we can look for another loan. Let me know what you think. So there we go. That's all we've got time for today. Not the best episode ever. In fact, one of the worst. But hopefully, in the next episode, we can decide on some signings. I think we should be able to get to... Yeah, we'll get to transfer deadline day in the next episode. Plus games against United and Burnley. So, see you on Wednesday for that. See you in a bit.